morning, everybody. Welcome to J-Speak. We're going to cover two questions this week. I got a question concerning semi-hollow body guitars versus solid body guitars. Now, I did write a blog briefly for Orange, where this was actually the first article I addressed, and I'll put that in the link below, but I think overall, semi-hollow gives you a little more air in your sound. It can be a little more articulate. I think it really depends on the guitars you're talking about. I had an Ibanez Artcore, I don't know, 15 years ago or something, because I really wanted a Gibson 335, and to be honest with you, were just way out of my price range. There was nowhere I was going to be able to afford one of those, and that guitar, the Ibanez, was good, but it was a little muddy sounding. So I don't know if a pickup improvement or electronic improvement would have benefited the guitar, but I mean, it eventually got sold. Now that I've been fortunate enough to pick up some Gibsons, I really do enjoy them. I did have a Midtown, which I thought was a good guitar. I didn't think it was as good as a 335, but I thought it was a really nice compromise, bridging the gap between a 335 and a Les Paul, whereas a 335 to me sounds like a 335 and a Les Paul sounds like a Les Paul. Les Pauls tend to be a little bit thicker sounding. I find that 335s cut a little more. Now that could be because I use a lot of orange amps, and I think it's just a really good pairing. For me, it works. I have one of my 335s that I kind of really favor. It's the Black Beauty 335. But I also think that it just feels really good in my hands. I'm a bigger dude, so I like a bigger guitar. I think I've covered that before, why I don't like PRS guitars. But yeah, I think the sounds are just a little different, a little more offbeat, but they're great for rock and roll. I mean, 335s are just awesome, but there's plenty of other semi-hollow choices. I'd love to get my hands on a Johnny A Custom. I believe that is completely hollow, and it kind of looks like a cross between a SG kind of crazy double cut thing. But those look really cool, but they are just so expensive. But solid body guitars, I mean, you're never going to replace those. I don't know that I'll ever be an exclusive 335 guy. There's just too many other awesome guitars to play, to be honest with you. But really digging that orange one I got. It's got a little more bite to it than some of my other ones, and then you've got the Grohl 335 that has even more bite than that one does. So it's actually really cool. I got a really cool spectrum of semi-hollows I really like now, but I think they just add more air, and they're very cool. Other question I got was comparing the OR amps. So behind me you see the OR100 and OR50. They are not the same amp. Just a few of the differences. The OR100 is a 100-watt amp, but it has power scaling, and you can control the amount of tubes, valves, whatever you want to call them, as well as the overall output of the amp. So you can run it at 30 watts, 50 watts, 70 watts, or 100 watts, which gives you a lot of versatility there, you know, what you're working with. It also has a gain boost feature, which when you engage that, it just cranks it up a little bit. I think it kind of puts it more modern sounding than what the gain stages normally do, and to me kind of puts it in rock reverb territory, where without that you've got 4 gain stages as you move up. So check out maybe the video I did. It's no talk or alto no talk for the OR100, just because there's a ton of gain options in there. You can get some really great, like, voxy type sounds, as well as just full out rock and roll, gain all the way up kind of deal. And it's obviously 2 channels too, so it has the clean and the distortion. The clean channel does not have the mid band, it only has the bass and treble. So whereas the OR50 has 3 stages of gain, it's a single channel amp. It also has the high frequency drive, which is kind of a unique knob on some orange amps where it drives a different part of it and pushes more of the power section than, say, preamp distortion. I find that is really cool if you want something that really cuts. seems to add some treble and things like that. But because it's a single channel amp, personally, I don't think one is necessarily better than the other. I think the OR wins on features. I actually really like the sound of the OR50. I love that HF knob. I play with that all the time. They're both really organic sounding amps, and I don't know. I think if I didn't have to carry them and I could gig out all the time, I'd probably get another OR50. So I'm running clean and one dirty. So maybe I do favor the OR50. But again, it's 50 watts, so maybe I just enjoy the breakup more. I think the cleans were just phenomenal. I want to compare them to some other stuff. But yeah, I hope those answers help. Leave further questions and comments below. Let me know what you think. Do you own an Orange 100 or OR50? And what do you think of them? And what are you using? Are you using solid body guitars or semi-hollow or a mix of both? Anyway, thanks for watching, and many more videos to come. Don't miss one sub.